Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the average daily range. We're going to be looking at it in the Trader's Reality Indicator. So before I get into this, I'm not a financial advisor, nor is this any sort of financial advice. It's just for educational purposes. So you know what you're talking about. Okay, so the average daily range. This is something that kind of started off in the Forex market. So in the old days, the Forex market was like the Wild West, exactly like crypto is today, unregulated. So you would see these huge fluctuations in price. And that's not good when you have a globalized trade system, right? So when Japan is selling Australia cars or Canada or whomever, if your currencies are always fluctuating so greatly that you don't understand how you're going to make a profit, it can be tough. So the powers that be, the World Trade Organizations and the World Banks came together and decided to regulate it in this fashion. So there is an expected sort of a certain degree of restraint that the market makers are supposed to show so that they don't freak out the global markets, right? And so they learned how to use these average daily ranges to their benefit. And that's what we're going to do, is learn how to use them for our benefit. So the first thing I have to talk about is there's a question about pips. What the hell's a pip? Don't worry about pips in crypto. If you want to think about pips, go trade Forex. And if you want me to do a video, I will gladly do that. So you're going to come down to the table, the ADR, ADR X3, the weekly and the monthly range table. The default setting is on pips. So you're going to turn this off and you're going to click on show ADR currency. And now it's going to show it to you in USD dollars. Okay, while we're in the settings, let me show you another. All right, under the average daily range, this is how it comes, standard. I like to put on the show 50% of the ADR, and sometimes I will use the use daily open to the calculation. The difference is when you're using the daily open, it'll give you the range all the way to the upside and all the way to the downside, which is great for a trending day. So if market opens and price starts moving up and then never comes back down towards the open, that is a very telling sign of a big trending day to come, and you're going to want to do the daily calculation. All right. And also there's your length days here. So it comes standard on 14. In Forex, most traders use 21 days. That's the way I've always seen it done. But the 14 works well as well. So play with it. And if you're doing, if you're focusing on scalping, you might want to play with these settings and come up with your own best version of how you trade with this. Okay, so that's about it for the settings. All right, so how do we use this tool? Yep, I'm on the 1 hour, so we'll stick on the 1 hour for now. Okay, so price shot up here. Here's your ADR. And we had some factors here that we were looking for. So you always use this with Confluence. We tested the ADR, and then we come back down and we test the daily open. So that's usually the way these things are going to play out. If you get a hit off the ADR, either high or low, then price will reverse and come back down to test the daily open. And sometimes it will actually come down and get the whole, get the low of the ADR as well. It depends how nasty New York is feeling, because that generally happens in New York sessions. So you know those days where London has a big push to the upside, New York open, rips it to the highs, goes for a stop hunt, and then comes back down. Again, another stop hunt, and then back up. Right? Okay, so that's how we're looking at this. Also, you are going to have to think about the ADR times 3, and ADR times 2 is not on here, but also think about ADR times 2. Because some days, when you have those huge trending days, just in one day you'll have a huge push up, then another push up, then another push up. Sometimes you'll actually hit a 3 times ADR in one day. It's not unheard of for Bitcoin. A lot of times you'll only go times 2. So the 845 times that by 2 would be 1690. So from the beginning of that move, you would mark out, whoop, there you are, $1,690. And you might be projecting that. So let's say we broke above the high ADR and then we consolidated for a little bit. This would be your next level to look at. And then your ADR times 3 would be the next level to look at. All right, I hope that makes sense. And that can happen in just one day. Pardon me while I take a sip of my tea. Thank you. All right, now let me bring this down to the daily chart. So continuing on with ADR times 3. So we put in this lovely W here, right? And now we're waiting to rip out of the W. Well, now we're not, but we were. So down here, market makers are consolidating, they're accumulating longs here. And then they finally rip it out of the zone and we break through the apex of the W. All right, so that's just to give you context of what we're looking at here. So the ADR at this point I can't show it to you unfortunately because it resets, right? The ADR is constantly resetting every day because it's an average daily range. But it was around 1200. It was 1200 and a bit when we were back here. So $1,225 move. That's what we got to break out of that zone, right? And here we form our level 1 consolidation, right? So when this happens, you're going to look at what the ADR is. That day it was around 1206 or 8 or something like that. And you're going to remember that for these subsequent moves up. So in this case, we're not getting 3 pushes to the upside in one day. It's going to go over several days. It's a weekly cycle, right? So if you take the low to the high, and then you take the low of the consolidation of level 1 to the high, actually, the low is right there. Look at where that brings us. Here's your level 2 consolidation, and this one was very quick, but that's really the way you want to see it. You want to see it consolidate for not much longer than 2 hours. This one was a bit of a long consolidation, so would have got a lot of people out of the trade. But you see, that brings us right up. So far, ADR times 2, and then if we bring it to the low of our consolidation here, ADR times 3. The obvious way to do it is just take it from the beginning of the move, and there's your 35.64. And the 3-time ADR was around 30. It was 36, like, I want to say like 18. It was right around there, 36.18ish. But you have to take into account some of these pullbacks too, right? So with the pullback, you're going to be chewing some out. But anyway, once we get here and you see this massive wick and then these wick ups, you know that this is a good profit taking area, right? So it's just a general guide to help project where these moves are going to go. So we come in here and we're looking now at level 3 consolidation, but it consolidates for way too long, right? So this is no longer a very valid peak formation because there's just it's really just consolidating. So this is the range we formed. This was very good trading in this range. And then we did put in this W here. So instead of having the typical market cycle where we go 3 up, 3 down, or 2 up, 3 down, or 4 up, 3 down, we have what we call a reset. So consolidation, 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 put in this W, breakout of the apex, level 1, breakout, level 2, breakout, level 3, and here we are right now. Back into consolidation mode potentially. And now we're going to look for either a peak formation reversal or a reset. All right. As far as the 50%, I love to use that on scalps. Let's just take a peek at what's happened here today. So hit the high, you expect a daily open, hit the daily open, come back up, retest the 50, and this is where you start, using other factors here. You've got the 0.5 right there at the ADR. Not bad. Excellent scalp. Hit the ADR, back down. I haven't hit the 50 yet. And toggle between, so when I'm scalping, I do a lot of toggling with a lot of different things. Use the daily open calc. And now you're going to see that it actually helped you with this nice short. Come on now. 50% right inside the golden pocket. We came up into it, bounced down, 382, back up. So very, very decent scalping today. Pretty bizarro actually. I don't like trading weekends, but I did take a couple trades today. And that is gonna pretty much do it, guys, for the ADR. So play with it, watch it. Don't necessarily take trades off it right away. Find confluence and reasons why you think that there will be a reversal at around the high ADR. Let me just put this back on. Back on standard. And you will always find it to be just another excellent tool to put into your confluence pool, all right? If you have any questions, concerns, leave a comment below. If you like the video, leave a like. Think about subscribing. And join the Discord. I will leave a description for the Discord. I'll leave a link for the Discord in the description. And anybody in the group, if you have any questions relating to this, just ask in the Discord and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks, guys. Stay safe, be well, and I'll see you on the next one.